Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. How y'all feeling this morning? Everybody feeling all right? Everybody good? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I have a funeral to go do in a minute. I'm going to do a little something and we're going to shoot to the funeral. Somebody asked me a question, which was a good, valid question. And the thing is, people, the thing is, all the names that you hear me say as I go back and forth through the scriptures, through the books, stay focused on all those names. And that's why, like I say, here we're learning how to read the Bible. We don't want to argue about nothing. We don't want to discuss nothing. We're just learning how to read it. Why? And the question was, this was the question. What's the difference between the major and the minor prophets? Which was a good question, right? Okay, I'm gonna go in the scriptures and I'm gonna show you that. I called what's the date? Today Wednesday, right? So I went to a book Monday, and I called out a name, Obadiah. I called Obadiah. A lot of people say they never heard of the book of Obadiah. A lot of people don't even know who Obadiah is. Okay, now the question was, what's the difference between the minor and the major prophets? According to the Bible, I'm going to read it and show it to you. I promise you I won't be long. I'm going to run through this funeral. People, let me share something with you all. As we learn, as we study, I need you to know that the book of Revelation, it's not for everybody. The book of Revelation is not for everybody. You know why? Because the book is the testament of God. The book is the will of God for his people. So it's not for everybody. And it deals with nothing but obedience. The commandment is he already promised he gonna bless you. The book of Revelation is the only book where in the beginning of the book it tell you you're blessed, and at the end of the book it tell you you're blessed. Bless those that read it, hear it, and keep it and do it. And when you get to the end, you bless. That's the only book you're going to read in the Bible that it start out telling you you're blessed and it going to end telling you you're blessed. Now, according to the question, what's the difference between the major and the minor prophet? We're going to deal with that. A lot of you all, I sent out the emails. Some of y'all emails got kicked back. Some of y'all emails was like a block long. I'm like, oh, look at these emails. But anyway, the material, you got the map, you got the calendar, and you have some other stuff I put in there. And there's some more stuff that's coming, right? As we study the book, as we get ready to get in the book. Now, watch this. I'm gonna show you the difference. I'm gonna show you something. Back then, they had what was called the School of Prophets, right? Okay. This is why last week I shared with you about Samuel. For last week, the lady asked me about Samuel, right? Now, stay focused on Samuel, because after coming off of Judges, now they have prophets. This is where Samuel come in. Samuel was a priest and a prophet, Samuel, right? Okay, now we're going to go back in the 19th chapter of Samuel. Then we're going to run to the 18th chapter of Kings. And I'm going to show you the difference between the major and the minor prophets. Last week, Ezekiel had vision. He was a prophet of vision. Daniel had an excellent spirit. Jeremiah, God had touched his mouth and told him, before you was formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. Isaiah says, send me, I'll go. So, your major and your minors. Watch this. Bible. According to the Bible, that was a good question. That's a good question. People, this is how we're going to get through this. We're going to learn. Of course, we have some people around that's not really trying to learn, but they just here for whatever. But that's cool. They need to be here. We love them too. According to 1 Samuel, and I'm going to go in the 19th chapter, right? I'm going to show you something. Samuel, 1 Samuel, I'm going to start at verse 19. And I'm going to start at verse 18. Watch this. Watch this. And this is why I tell you all the whole book go together. How can I know this if I don't know that? How can I know that if I don't know this? How can I know this if I don't know that, this, and that? How can I know? So in this, okay, I got major prophets, I got minor prophets, I understand that. Okay, but when I get in here, where that come, okay, so that's what, Bible baby, watch this. And it was told Saul, saying, behold, David is at Not and Ramah. 1 Samuel 19 and 20. And Saul sent messengers to take David, and Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets, prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them. Who was appointed over the prophets? Samuel. And Samuel standing as appointed over them. The Spirit of God was upon the messenger of Saul, and they also prophesied. What spirit? This is why I really can't get into it because I'm going to have to go. But watch this. This is why yesterday we dealt with the 7 spirits, right? We go back in the book of Isaiah, we get an understanding of the 7 spirits, right? We go in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, we see that these are spiritual gifts. It's a difference between the spiritual gifts and the Spirit of God, right? Because the Spirit distributes the gifts as the Spirit sees. So when you go in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, you see spiritual gifts. But back then, it was the Spirit of God. This is why Isaiah gives us an understanding about the 7 spirits. So when we get in the book of Revelation, we see the 7 spirits, we have an understanding. Oh, now back to the scripture. And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the Spirit of God was upon the messenger of Saul, and they also prophesied. 21. And when it was told, excuse me. Go on, bro. Something ain't right. And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise. And Saul sent messengers again, third time, and they prophesied. I don't know. We're gonna get this teaching. I don't care what they go. I don't care what's going on. Come here, Brian. I love this shit. I love this shit. I'm showing you the difference between the major prophets and the minor prophets. Watch this. According to 1 Kings, the 19th chapter. Pastor Mike, man, that's cool. You just cool walked off. Ain't that something? Man, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's what I'm talking about. My bad. My bad. Hey, we ain't around your faking. I gotta do what I gotta do. I walked up, I'm making all that noise, all that. That's ignorant. But according to the Bible, 1 King in the 19th chapter, watch this. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, with all how they had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow by this time. And when they saw that he arose, he went for his life and came to Beersheba unto Judah and left his servants. But he himself went a day's journey. Who? Elijah. Your minor prophets went to your minor prophets. They went to the school of prophets. But Elijah, Daniel, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah, they didn't have to go to the school of the prophets. Bible. What I'm looking for? Where my glasses at? Where my glasses at? It's gonna be all right, baby. Never panic, baby. For what? I wish we would panic. No, indeed. Bible, baby. Come here, Samuel. What I need you to give me something right quick. What the heck I was reading? That's what happens when you don't put on your glasses, man. According to the Bible, 1 Kings 18:1 says, and it came to pass, what 18 I was reading? That's what you get for not having on your glasses. Oh, I was in 19. Okay, my bad. 1 Kings 18:1 says, and it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, go show thyself to Ahab, and I will send the rain upon the earth. And Elijah went and showed himself unto Ahab. And there was a sore famine in Samaria. And Ahab called Obadiah. Remember the other day I went to Obadiah and I read out of the book of Obadiah? And Ahab called to Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in the cave and fed them with bread and water. This is how you get your minor prophets and your major prophets, right? But the major prophets is dealing with major prophecy. Now watch this. Obadiah is just one book. He don't have all those chapters. But Obadiah was laid back. Obadiah was very important when it comes down to the minor prophets. Now, the prophets back then, they went to a school. And Samuel was over the school of the prophets. Now, as we read, as we study, we're gonna go into Kings. And you're going to see how a lot of these prophets, after going to school, how things turned out for them. The thing is, the major prophets went to the school. The minor prophets went to the school. The major prophets didn't. Isaiah didn't. Jeremiah didn't. Ezekiel didn't. And Daniel didn't. But the Bible said Daniel had an excellent spirit. Now, verse 5. And Ahab said to Obadiah, go into the land unto all the fountains of water, and unto all the brooks peradventure we may find grass to save the horses, and mules alive, so that we lose not all the beasts. Now, watch this. When you read Kings, right? We in the book of Kings. Look where Obadiah at. You got look, we in Kings. We in Kings. But look where Obadiah is. This is where Obadiah at. Look at all these people. Look at all of this you got to go through to get to Obadiah. This Obadiah. But we're in Kings. This is why I tell you all, people, well, where should I start? I don't know. I don't know where you should start. But this is why, one thing for sure, two things for certain, you're going to know the difference between history, law. You're going to know the difference between history, poetry. You're going to know the difference between history, major prophecy. You're going to know the difference between history and minor prophets. You're going to know the difference. So when you read the Bible, people, get that out of your mind, that the Bible is in chronological order, okay? If you're looking for this story to happen, then that story to happen, then that story, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, right? The thing is, when you see these names, get an understanding of who they are, because when you read it again, this would happen. This would happen. Whoever put this together, I don't know who they are. I don't know who they were. I don't know nothing about them. But whoever put this together, right? They took this book and they lined it up. Law, history, poetry, major prophecy, minor prophets. That's how they lined it up, right? Okay, so now when you read the Bible, what are you looking for? When you read the Bible, what are you looking for? What do you want? What do you want out of the Bible? What you trying to learn? What are you trying to learn? Now, in order to learn, you got to detox all that stuff you've been told, because the stuff we've been told, okay, you taught me this, and that, right? You taught me this, and that, right? Okay, you taught me that. But now when I read, I'm seeing different. So when I see different, now what do? Because guess what? I have an understanding of history now. I know why you came out of Samuel. I know why you came out of Kings. I know why you came out of Judges. I know why you came out of Ruth. One of the coolest games in the church is Ruth and Boaz. Ruth and Boaz. Well, you need a Boaz. Really, baby? Really? Really? Do you know what that story really was about? Do you know what really was happening at that time? Because it sounds good, we run out there. Come on, man. This is why it is so important. It's so important to know how to read the Bible. I sent out a lot of the emails. So you all have your maps, you all have your calendars. Today I'm gonna send out some more, and the more emails I have, the more material I'm gonna send out. I'm gonna just sending the material out, Now, even when we get this material, right? Now watch this. We're dealing with 1 Samuel. Samuel was over the prophets, right? Okay. We get in 1 Kings, we see where they was at the prophet of school. We see Obadiah and how Obadiah had to make sure these prophets were straight because of Jezebel, right? Okay. Now, when we get in the book of Acts, we're gonna see how they were burning the books. What books? What books? Scripts. A lot of stuff got burnt up in the book of Acts. This is why I sent you all the maps. It's going to show you. It's even written on the map how they were burning all the books and what was going on at the time in Ephesus. So now, when I read the Bible, now I say, okay, wait, God, something ain't right about this here right here, God. Say, but hold up, God. What was happening before this here, God? God, why this and then that? And then God, help me out with this one, God, because now I see where Paul was writing these letters, but yet nobody really understood the letters, right? Now, because watch this. Okay, now, God, you gave us spiritual gifts, right? Right? You give us spiritual gifts, right? And speaking in tongues is a spiritual gift, right? Okay. But everywhere somebody's speaking in tongues, there should be somebody to interpret it, right? If they're doing it in public. If they're doing it in public, right? Okay, now watch this. Oh, God, help me with this, right? If that is a gift, and the Spirit distributes that gift, how are you going to teach me how to speak in tongues? Where did you learn how to speak in tongues? You've been faking to yourself. Because if the Spirit didn't give you the gift, Samuel told us the Spirit of God was on the prophets. So even when Saul, who was looking to kill David, when Saul came, Saul began to prophesy because the Spirit of God was that strong. We get in the 11th chapter of Isaiah. Isaiah breaks down the 7 spirits, the spirits of God. Jesus said the Spirit of the Lord was upon me. Now, where y'all getting all this faking at in these churches? Where? If we line those spirits up, you will see how much the church been faking. And all we got to do is go in the 12th chapter, boom, of 1 Corinthians, going for 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, then go in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, then shoot to Isaiah. Let me get out of here. Say, bro, on some real talk, it may come off as being harsh. It may come off as being hard. But people, according to the book, they've been cold faking in these churches, man. You know why? Man got caught up in denomination. He didn't get caught up in the word of God. I know I gotta go, but watch this. According to the Bible, the 12th chapter, right? This is the 12th chapter of 1 Corinthians. Now concerning spiritual gifts. What, Paul? Now concerning spiritual gifts. Well, Paul, that means I got to have noun faith? Because, Paul, you love writing using noun. Because, Mike, they hadn't wrote to me so many letters. So when I write back, I'm saying, well, now let me deal with faith. Now let me deal with spiritual gifts. Now let me deal with marriage. Now. But Paul, they said, the Bible say, now faith is the substance. You got to have now faith. Mike, they tripping. I don't believe that foolishness. That's a bunch of foolishness, Mike. Mike, this is why when you study theology, you're going to study culture. You're going to study timing. You're going to study the mindset of the writer. People, I laid down, it's been got to be at least about 4 years ago, right? I helped a brother to go to seminary, right? He wanted to go to seminary. I helped him to get in seminary, right? The thing is, you go to seminary, give me the books you don't read. So he went to seminary and he would give me the books. He was taking theology, but he was giving me the books. So I'm reading the books that they're being taught in the school. Now, in the school, it's a systematic thing. That's not the Spirit of God. That's man system, right? Okay, now, Paul in his writings, studied theology. You got to know these things. Paul say, now concerning spiritual gifts, brother, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. In other words, Paul say, bro, y'all was caught up in a lot of stuff. Y'all was already doing some stuff, but now let me put y'all on some real game. Let me help y'all understand spiritual gifts. Now, when they be in these churches with all that old shandada, man, shut up. Y'all cold faking, man, according to the Bible. Now, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Paul say, wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of God called Jesus accursed, and that no man can say that Jesus is the Lord but by the Holy Ghost. Now there are diversities of gifts. But the same Spirit. diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. Jesus, you said the Spirit of the Lord was upon you, right? According to what's in Revelation and according to what's Isaiah, and Isaiah broke it down, these are the 7 spirits that were in you because the Spirit of God was upon you, right? Okay. Verse 5. And there are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit with all. And I will read slow. 1 Corinthians 12:8 says, for to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, by another the word of knowledge, by the same Spirit, wisdom, knowledge. To another, faith, by the same Spirit. To another, the gift of healing, by the same Spirit. To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, discerning of spirits. To another, divers kinds of tongues. And to another, the interpretation of tongues. So why y'all making all that noise in these churches? And then you got bishops running around talking about, oh, just keep saying it. You're going to get it. Just keep. Man, y'all so fake in these churches. Those are gifts from God, man. If God didn't give you that, where the world you get it from? You don't know. You running behind him lying. And so now, here come Azusa Street. Here come the Pentecostal people, and they just took it and ran with it. Oh, Jesus! Really? If you don't shut up all that noise, because you're making a bunch of noise. Well, if I'm lying, come show me. Come show me. You good faking church folks? Oh, really, bro? Really? This is what Paul is telling them people in the 12th chapter. Say, bro, come back here, 1 Corinthians. Paul say, now concerning spiritual gift, brothers, I will not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. And you got pastors and bishops in the pulpit with that foolishness. And y'all follow that foolishness because y'all don't know no better. God, I need to know you, God. I need to know what's happening with this here, God. Mike, don't get caught up in that foolishness. What you said, God? Don't get caught up in that foolishness. Say, bro, God told me don't get caught up in that foolishness. Oh, you think you this, you that. Say, bro, who you want me to listen to? You or God? Because according to Revelation, he said, read, hear, obey. Read, hear, obey. Read, hear, keep. Read, however you want to put it. That's what he said. So you want me to listen to you or you want me to listen to God? You tell me. You want me to listen to you or you want me to listen to God? Because according to that foolishness, say, but y'all been doing a bunch of foolishness in these churches and y'all know y'all down bad. Okay, well, prove me wrong. I stand here and wait. Prove me wrong. But according to the Bible, spiritual gifts. Jesus, did you need spiritual gifts? Did you need spiritual gifts? No, Mike, the Spirit of God was upon me, Mike. I need the gifts. But Mike, when I died and I rose, when I was resurrected, I rose with all power in my hand. Mike, I gave them gifts so they could be able to do this. Who the gifts for? Who the gifts for? It's for all believers, Mike. You mean to tell me, well, why I ain't been getting no gifts? Because, Mike, you don't know how to go and get the gift. If you come, the Spirit gonna distribute the gifts as the Spirit see fit. Here you go, Mike. You prophecy, baby. Here you go, Mike. Boom, you need a little faith. Here you go, Mike. You want to do some healing? Boom, here you go. Here you go. So if y'all ain't getting this stuff from the Spirit of God, where the hell you getting it from? You good fake church folks? Just what I thought. Just what I thought. I'd rather be late. Come here, Bible. According to the Bible, First Corinthians 12 and 11 says, but all these work at the one of the self-same Spirit, divided to every man severely as he see fit. Help me understand that, Jesus. Mike, the Spirit, right, is going to distribute the gifts as the Spirit sees fit. Well, where he come from on putting his hands on me talking about healing me? Do he have a spiritual gift? Did the Spirit distribute to him the spiritual gift? If that be the case, everybody in the church will be healed. See how fake y'all been? It's right in the Bible. Jesus. Spirit of prophecy, right? So I'm Prophet Matthews, right? I'm Prophet Matthews, and I'm going to prophesy what's going to happen in these people's life, right? Don't play with it like that, Mike? Okay. Just that simple. Just that simple. According to Joel, he said he would pour out his Spirit upon all flesh. According to Joel, right? Okay. Jesus. Before the day of Pentecost, right? Stand focus on Joel, right? Okay. Your disciples, when they went out, because you sent them out 2 by 2 to 72, right? But you had to narrow this thing all the way down to 12, right? Okay. When you sent them out, right? You gave them what? Mike, I put the Spirit on them. Why? Because before the day of Pentecost, the Spirit of God will come upon you, and then the Spirit of God will leave once you've done God's work. Whenever you want to go do the work of God, the Spirit of the Lord will come upon you. After you went and done God's work, the Spirit of God will leave. That's what happens all the way up to the day of Pentecost. But because Joel prophesied that he would pour out his Spirit upon all flesh, after the day of Pentecost, now the Spirit of God dwells within us. That same Spirit you had, right, Jesus? Yes, Mike. But then I gave y'all spiritual gifts, Mike. Mike, go back and read. Read them 7 spirits. Is one of them tongues? No. Is one of them prophecy? No. Is one of them discerning spirits? No. Whoa, Mike. I gave y'all that as gifts for the ministry. See the difference, people? See the difference? See the difference? See how cold they've been playing y'all in these churches? Without the Spirit of God, you ain't going nowhere. But if you don't know the difference, if you don't know how to break this thing down, if there's no clarity and a bunch of people hollering and cutting the fool, say, bro, back when people send me something about their pastor, this and that, the minute they start that, oh, Sunday, I'm gone. I won't hear that noise. Because you're cold faking. You can't show it to me nowhere in this Bible, bro. But, we try to make ourselves look holy. And you would think we holy, just like the pastors. We make it sound good so you can feel good. And when you feel good, you give good, cold duck. Get to know God and get to know God for yourself. Get to know God and get to know God for yourself. If you want to take a charge, take your own charge. I'm not taking no charge because of you. I'm not taking no charge because of you. I'm going to get to know God for myself. Because what we've been seeing so far, say, bro, y'all been running cold game in these churches. This is why I said back in 20, say, bro, get your members, get your people, and go about your business, bro. Because y'all running game on these people. And if y'all don't think y'all running game, what the world y'all been doing all these years in the church? What the world y'all been doing? Because guess what? I could start with Revelation and go all the way to Genesis and show you how the church have been in nothing but error. Error. But. You got these jokers running around with purple collars on and pink collars and black collars and, oh, that's Bishop so-and-so. Who the hell cares? Negro don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. But they do that parade show for y'all. And they done Coldplayed y'all. Tell me about God. Tell me about God. Tell me about that. Tell me about that God that's going to come. That's what I want to know about. I don't want to know about a is God. I don't want to know about a was God. I want to know about that God that's going to come. Let me know about that millennium. Tell me about the new Jerusalem. Tell me about the new city. Tell me about the battle of Armageddon. Tell me about what's really going to happen. And stop lying to me with all little faking. Because guess what? According to Zechariah, y'all been lying to us. And no bishop or no pastor can show you in this Bible where you going down in some ground that's hell. Really, bro? Really? And then you got these jokers over here talking about the angels came, the fallen angels had sex with the people. Okay, well, where they are now? Where the fallen angels are at today? They don't want to have no more sex with the people? People aren't good enough for them? And the crazy part, y'all believe that foolishness. Y'all believe that foolishness. Say, bro, y'all stop and think, people. Stop. First, stop. Then think. If the angels was falling and the angels was having sex with the people, where are the angels now? They ain't want to have no more sex with the people. The sad part, then y'all try to teach that to somebody else, and then y'all get mad when people don't want to hear that foolishness. Say, but that foolishness to me. I don't know no man that done knocked off some shorties and don't want to go back and knock them off no more. I don't know no man that been knocking off shorties and still today he don't want to have no. Come on, man. And you want me, Mike, baby. It's Mike, man. You want me to believe that foolishness? That some angels came down and had sex with the people? You really want me to believe that foolishness? If you want me to believe that foolishness, you know what you're saying to me? Mike, I think you're stupid. That's what you're saying to me. If you want me to believe that the angels came down and had, tomorrow we're going to go walk that. We're going to get an understanding of Cain and Abel. In order to understand Cain and Abel, we got to bring in Seth. When we bring in Seth, we got to bring in Cain people, which is the ungodly people, and Seth people, which are godly people, what takes us in the book of Revelation. This is why once the book is open, God is dealing with who? The ungodly. Why? The godly are gone. He destroyed the world already. When he destroyed the world, he destroyed the godly with the ungodly. When he destroyed this time, he's just going to destroy the ungodly. Man, see, bro. Gone. Y'all so fake in these churches with all those lying. They just be, man, keep going to y'all school. Y'all ain't learning nothing. Crazy mess.